A sinister witch luring people to their doom, a spirit hijacking an ambulance, and creepy encounters with shadow people. These are just some of the terrifying videos you'll be watching today. Get ready for a creepy countdown that is going to ruin your sleep tonight. A man living alone in Butte, Montana, returned home late one night after partying with his friends. As he closed the main gate, he heard a football bouncing on the floor, even though no one was there. The lights were out, which made him even more scared. As he walked toward his room, a childlike figure appeared, laughing, and passed through the closed door as if it were not even there. With trembling hands, he tried to open the door, but could not. Then a pale, disturbing face appeared from the closed door. Certain that his house was haunted, he ran out and spent the night with his friends. Well, witch? One night in Rano, Sabah, Malaysia, a man went to a well to fetch water. There, he saw a woman sitting on the edge of the well. He warned her to move away, but she kept wailing and did not respond. Worried, he walked closer and touched her shoulder. To his horror, she slowly turned and looked at him. Her face was badly distorted, and a red liquid seemed to be dripping from it. Terrified, the man ran away at once. He believed the woman was an evil spirit, said to appear near wells at night and lure people in.
Yuk. Kena hujan nanti.
Churail on the bridge. A man in Korangi, Karachi, Pakistan, recorded a terrifying moment while delivering milk early in the morning. He stopped his bike after seeing an eerie presence in white with long black hair walking barefoot on a bridge. Even though he was very scared, he kept filming because he felt no one would believe him without proof. People in the area had long said that the bridge was haunted by a churail, a spirit believed to frighten people and make them jump from the bridge. Unknown intruder. A woman in Moab, Utah, was frightened by strange things happening in her house, so she installed a CCTV camera in her room. One night, while she was in the kitchen, without warning, a shadowy figure appeared and rushed through the hallway at incredible speed. She went to check inside the room, but found nothing. Later, when she stepped outside, the dark entity suddenly jumped over her and made her collapse to the ground, pulling her across the floor. Neighbors heard her screams and called 911, but when police arrived, they found her unresponsive. She gained consciousness after 3 hours and could not recall the last few seconds. Terrifying school figure. A security guard was on night shift at a school in Makassar, Sulawesi, Indonesia, when he heard eerie sounds coming from a classroom. Out of curiosity, he began reciting Arabic verses and went to check. When he shone his flashlight inside, he was shocked to see a bizarre figure in white with long, messy black hair facing the wall. Suddenly, it twisted its neck back at a strange angle and stared at him. Terrified, he ran outside, convinced it was a witch, and he never returned to his job again. Frightening hitchhiker. On August 15, 2018, a man was driving with his family to a hill resort for a long weekend in Skagway, Alaska, USA. In the darkness, he saw an eerie shape dressed in white, standing by the roadside, raising its hand for a lift, but he did not stop. After driving a few more miles, he saw a similar figure again, this time with long, messy black hair, standing in the middle of the road. He hit the brakes, and the figure turned toward him. It was stabbing its own belly with something in its hand, and its clothes and the road were stained with red fluid. Horrified, he reversed the car, thinking it was a witch, and quickly changed his route. Wailing witch. On October 3rd, 2021, a chilling moment was recorded by a man in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. His friend, who lived alone in a flat, called to say he wasn't feeling well. When the man arrived, he was left terrified. His friend was hanging upside down from the ceiling, and a dark figure stood in the corner, hiding its face and wailing. Reciting Arabic verses, he stepped into the room and kept filming, but the figure suddenly vanished. Later, only his friend's phone was found, and neither of them was ever seen again. Haunted house. A man living in Jakarta, Indonesia, was home alone one night while his family was out of town. He heard a loud noise in the kitchen, so he grabbed his phone and started recording. He caught a glimpse of an unknown figure with tangled hair peeking from behind the kitchen wall, but it vanished before he could film it clearly. After a while, a tissue roll fell to the floor by itself, and the crystal wind chime began ringing. He checked behind the curtain and found no one. Panicked, he locked himself in his room, afraid that the ghost might return.
No, amigo, ¿qué mierda es eso, boludo?
Mysterious ambulance. Back in 2021, a security guard at a hospital in Pacasmayo, Peru, was shocked while reviewing CCTV footage. In the video, an ambulance arrived, and the driver got out to take some things inside. When he left, the side door of the ambulance suddenly closed on its own. After a while, it slowly opened again, even though no one was visible inside or outside, and then closed once more. The guard showed the clip to the driver, who believed it might be the soul of a patient who passed away in that ambulance an hour earlier. Kuntilanak. A man was riding his bike back to his village, Barrio, after closing his shop in Sarawak, Malaysia, when he saw a creepy woman on the road. It wore a red dress, had bulging eyes and a pale face, and was dragging itself forward with its hands. Its appearance and the way it moved convinced him that it was a kuntilanak, a vengeful witch from Malaysian folklore. Terrified, he turned his bike around and decided never to use that road again. Evil presence. A week ago in Salem, Massachusetts, a man was about to sleep when he noticed something creepy in his wardrobe. The room light was off, and it seemed to be a silhouette peeking at him from inside. Frightened, he turned on his camera and went to check, but saw only clothes and shoes. Shaken by what he thought was an evil presence, he quickly left his room and slept in his father's room for the night. Ghost child. A man was sleeping peacefully in his house in Petoskey, Michigan, USA, when a loud banging at the door woke him in the middle of the night. Surprised, he turned on his camera and stepped out of his room to check. What he saw terrified him. A childlike figure was laughing and peeking at him from behind the corner of the wall. But when he moved closer, it suddenly vanished, as if it had never been there. After a while, the banging started again, along with the sight of a hand. Frightened, he locked himself in his room and stayed awake all night in fear of the ghost. Spooky house. 3 years ago in Manali, India, 2 friends heard stories about a haunted house. Curious, they went there one night with a camera to see if they could capture anything disturbing. As they got close to the house, they were terrified to see a figure standing in one of the windows. Its body seemed to be covered in black fur, and it had a pale face. When one of them called out, the figure raised its arms aggressively and disappeared. After a while, it appeared in another window, and they ran away, convinced it was a witch. Last birthday celebration. A simple birthday celebration turned into a frightening moment in Sakado, Japan, as a family gathered to celebrate their grandmother's 100th birthday. While she was sitting on a chair, a dark figure suddenly rushed behind her and seemed to disappear into the wall. The movement was so fast that no one noticed it at first, but when they replayed the video, they were shocked. 2 hours later, their grandmother passed away, making them wonder if the figure had been an angel of death. Skinwalker in darkness. A man was out for a nighttime walk in Kalispell, Montana, USA. when he noticed something unexpected. He turned on his camera and saw two glowing eyes staring at him from far away in the dark. People in town had been talking about a Skinwalker sighting a week ago, so he became frightened and thought the creature might be following him. Believing it had bad intentions, he hurried back home, went inside quickly, and locked the door behind him. Restless office spirit. This unexpected moment was captured by a CCTV camera in the lunch area of an office in Laramie, Wyoming in America. A man was cleaning a table when a stool beside it suddenly moved by itself. At first, he didn't notice, but then the stool slid again, as if something invisible was trying to show its presence. Terrified by the sight, he quickly left the area. Later, when the office management watched the footage, they became convinced it might be the spirit of a dedicated worker who passed away after tripping on the stairs. Hanako-san sighting. Back in 2023, in Nagoya, Japan, a group of female friends heard a strange sound coming from the bathroom stalls, so they turned on their camera and went to investigate. At first, one of them tried to look over the stall, but it was too high. She then entered the next bathroom and looked over, but there was nothing inside. After a while, they heard a scream again. They checked once more and still saw nothing at first, but when they moved the camera back, a pale female figure with frozen eyes was standing motionless in the corner. Spooked by the figure, they ran away immediately. Later, when they showed the clip to a guard, he identified it as Hanako-san, a female spirit said to haunt the bathrooms. Attic presence. A family moved to another house after a terrifying moment was caught on their Ring camera. At around 3 a.m., the loft ladder began to open by itself, like someone in the attic was trying to come down. But no one else was in the house that night. First, only half of the ladder dropped from the ceiling. Then everything went silent for a few moments before the ladder slowly opened all the way. After seeing the footage, the family believed something unknown was watching them. Ghost or stalker, you decide. Dangerous road trap. You will think twice before driving alone late at night after watching this video. This dashcam footage was recorded in Asheville, North Carolina, USA. A man was driving at 4 a.m. because he was out of town and needed to reach his office on time. Unaware of the danger ahead, he slammed on the brakes because the road was blocked. Without warning, a man holding something in his hand started running toward the car. Panicking, he reversed at full speed when more people appeared, as if they planned to rob him if he stepped out of the car. Ghost in plane. This video was captured by a security guard named Francisco Hernandez while he was patrolling the Mexico City airport at midnight. He heard an unusual sound coming from an empty airplane. Feeling unsettled, he went inside to check if anyone was still there and turned on his camera in case something happened. After inspecting the plane for a while, he suddenly saw a black figure peeking at him from the cockpit. Shaken by what he believed was a paranormal entity, he quickly ran out of the plane. Shadow Man. A man living in Eureka, Nevada, USA, was watching TV one Sunday when he heard a weird sound from one of the rooms. His wife had mentioned seeing something unusual before, so he turned on his camera and went to check. What he recorded sent a chill down his spine. A dark, humanoid figure wearing a felt hat, standing motionless. He quickly stepped back, but curiosity made him look again. This time, there was only darkness. He switched on the light, but saw no one there. After this encounter, he became convinced it was the Shadow Man who had been haunting the town for years. Mysterious garage presence. On February 21st, 2022, a man was walking home after his morning walk in Barrow, Alaska, when he noticed something unusual in his neighbor's house. The light in the garage started flickering, and a blurry figure moved back and forth inside, as if a ghost was playing tricks on him. He was shocked because the house had been abandoned for 6 years. When he turned on his camera and zoomed in, he saw only a dark shadow that quickly hid when it noticed the camera. Later, when he informed the neighbors, they told him they had moved out because they believed the house was haunted. Diving ghost. This CCTV footage was shared by a TikToker on January 1st, 2026, and quickly went viral. It showed a swimming pool at around 2 a.m. and a diving board bouncing as if something invisible was about to dive. Then, an unusual ripple was seen in the water, and a dark figure appeared in the pool, swimming. Viewers online were convinced it was a ghost, but what do you think it was? Share your thoughts in the comments. Haunted flat. A man living in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, USA, had been feeling a strange presence in his house for 3 days. One night, he set up a camera to see if anything appeared while he slept. Around midnight, with the lights off, the camera recorded a shadowy presence peeking from behind the door, as if a ghost had been caught on video. When he watched the footage, he became sure his flat was haunted and realized that's why the rent was so low. The next morning, he moved out, leaving the ghost behind. Possessed dummy. 5 years ago, a man was working in a mannequin factory when he was disturbed by a dummy head kept inside a glass box. Without warning, the door of the box opened on its own, and the dummy's eyelids slowly moved down. What made it even more unsettling was that its lips opened and closed 3 times, and then the box door swung fully open. It looked as if a spirit had taken over the head and was about to escape. The entire moment was captured on CCTV, and when the footage was shared on TikTok, viewers were convinced it was real paranormal activity. Invisible force. There were reports of ghost sightings at a school in Roswell, New Mexico, so a guard checked the CCTV footage to see if anything bizarre appeared. What he saw shocked him. In an empty hallway, a picture suddenly fell from the wall with great force, as if someone had yanked it down. Then, a chair slid across the floor by itself and stopped by the wall. Even more mysteriously, a filing cabinet drawer slowly opened with no visible hands. After watching this clip, the school authorities became certain that the school was haunted by an invisible force that was scaring the students. Mountains. Horror. One normal camping trip turned into a nightmare for a man looking for a place to set up his tent in the mountains of Rishikesh, India. Below a cliff, he saw a silhouette standing upright in an odd posture. Its eyes seemed to glow, and its face was pitch black with long strands of hair. Frozen in fear, he became sure it was an evil spirit, as many believe these mountains are haunted. He immediately changed direction and decided to camp somewhere else. Exploration gone wrong. There were rumors about a witch living in an abandoned house in Dahlonega, Georgia, USA. So one day, 2 friends decided to explore it. They walked in with their flashlights and camera on, but were terrified when they saw a frightening entity in torn clothes with a weathered face that looked just like a witch. Panicked, they ran out of the building, sure the rumors were true and that it had been a huge mistake to explore that place. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal? Share your story in the comments. Spectre sighting. A paranormal investigator was exploring a house in Sandpoint, Idaho that was said to be haunted. He set up a tripod camera downstairs and then went upstairs to place another one. As he climbed the stairs, a smoky figure appeared out of nowhere and followed him. What happened next was even more terrifying. The cupboard door opened by itself, and a shadowy form with a white, distorted face appeared inside. When he shared the footage online, viewers were divided. Some believed it was a real ghost, while others thought it was staged. Praying ghost. One night, in Nazwa, Dubai, a man went late to the mosque for his prayer. There, he saw an unusual white figure sitting on a prayer rug, shaking its body from side to side in an odd way. Curious, he started recording it on his phone and called out to it after a while. Without warning, the figure jumped toward him and disappeared, leaving him afraid it might return for revenge. Wall crossing ghost. On April 13th, 2011, a woman was watching her favorite TV show with her pet dog when she suddenly heard a loud noise. Both of them became alert and a little frightened. Moments later, a dark humanoid figure came running, entered through the wall, and then seemed to come out. It did not look like a trick because the wall frames also moved, as if something had gone through them. The woman could not react quickly, but when her husband searched the house, he found nothing and believed it might have been a ghost. Black misty entity. One Sunday, a woman was checking the CCTV footage outside her house when she noticed something unusual. At first, everything looked normal, but then a black, smoky figure suddenly rushed across the yard at incredible speed, leaving what looked like a trail behind it. Confused, she uploaded the clip to TikTok and asked viewers what they thought it was, but no one could clearly explain it. What do you think? Doorway Phantom.
Now recording?
A family in Casper, Wyoming, USA, kept hearing terrifying sounds coming from their neighbor's house while the neighbors were away for several weeks. One day, they decided to check what was happening. As the woman walked toward the front door, she was shocked to see a dark figure move past the doorway inside the house. Frightened, she stopped and decided not to knock or look inside. As she turned to leave, the figure passed by the doorway again, as if warning them to stay away. They recorded the moment on camera to show their neighbors, believing the house was haunted.
There's nobody in that house. There's nobody at all.
Bathroom Ghost.
It's really small. What's that?
A woman was home alone one night in Astoria, Oregon, while her husband was away. For days, she had been annoyed by the bathroom sink tap turning on by itself, as if something unseen was teasing her. That night, she decided to record the bathroom with her camera. After filming, she turned the camera off and placed it in the cabinet. Suddenly, a hand pressed against the bathtub curtain. She quickly grabbed the camera and pulled the curtain aside, but no one was there. Was it a ghost or something else? You decide.
See, nothing there. Never is.
Peculiar forest figure. One night in Mayong, Assam, India, a man was walking home along a road lined with thick bushes when something terrifying stopped him. On the roof of an abandoned house, he saw a white figure with long black hair walking slowly. Scared, he quickly turned on his camera and began recording. Without making a sound, he stepped back because he did not want the figure to notice him. Thinking it might be the witch from the stories, he hurried away and never used that road again. Spirit returned. A woman was working late at night in her office in Traverse City, Michigan, when something chilling happened. A chair beside her slowly turned by itself. After a while, another chair in the next section also moved, as if someone unseen was there. She didn't notice until an invisible figure suddenly appeared on the floor. Pale face, black eyes, then vanished with an eerie sound. When she later checked the CCTV footage, she was left shocked, as the figure looked exactly like a worker who had been terminated a week earlier and passed away due to stress, as if his soul had returned for revenge. Spooked by Ghost.
This one is on, okay? It's Mom.
Sometimes we live peacefully at home without knowing we are being watched by invisible entities. A man in Maipú, Chile, was home alone when something unexpected happened. The hallway light kept turning on and off by itself, and even the switch moved, as if a ghost was playing with it. Terrified, he started calling out for his mom, even though he knew she wasn't home. The experience scared him so much that after that night, he decided never to stay alone again.
Mom.
Unusual footsteps. A man had just rented an apartment through Airbnb in Galena, Illinois, USA, when he experienced a frightening moment. He was watching TV alone when he heard footsteps. Out of curiosity, he went to check. The footsteps stopped, then started again, as if someone invisible was approaching. Panicking, he ran back to his room, and the lights suddenly turned off. He checked the bathroom and cabinets, but found nothing. Convinced the apartment was haunted, he recorded everything to show the owner, asked for a refund, and moved somewhere else. Unexpected revival. A nurse at Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston, Texas, USA, was shocked when she was about to hand over a body to the family. Suddenly, the person opened his eyes, sat up on the stretcher, and looked around in confusion, wondering where he was and why he felt cold. The nurse was so frightened that she left the hospital and never returned to her job. Later, it was revealed that the person had been mistakenly declared deceased. Forest Phantom.
What part? That's evidence. Let me analyze them with lessons.
6 years ago in Medora, North Dakota, USA, a woman was taking an evening walk on a trail when she noticed something unsettling in the woods. Far away, she saw a dark silhouette that moved forward, then backwards, before suddenly vanishing into the thick bushes. She recorded the moment and shared the video on TikTok, claiming she had seen a ghost. But what do you think it was?
This toothless criminal lives to fight another day.
Cemetery apparition. 14 years ago, a woman visited Evergreen Cemetery, Santa Cruz, California, to see her mother's grave, just a week after her mother passed away. There, she noticed a blurry figure near the tombstone. The figure slowly became clearer. It looked like her mother, gently moving toward her. But as soon as it seemed to notice the camera, it disappeared, leaving the woman in tears, convinced it was her mother's soul. Clown figure. One dark night, a man was driving home in Tombstone, Arizona, USA, when he saw something disturbing on the road. He stopped his car and started recording. The figure began moving toward him. It had red hair, a white face, black lips, and wore a dress that made a creepy clown. When the figure realized it was being filmed, it suddenly ran toward the man. The video ended abruptly, leaving everyone wondering what happened next and why the figure approached him.
Dude, is that clown coming to us? Yo.
Ghost caught on live.
As you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones.
There had been reports of ghost sightings in Green Ridge Cemetery in Saratoga County, New York, USA. One day, newscaster Sam Hessler was filming there with her team when something unusual happened. A blurry figure drifted across the tombstones and was caught on camera. After watching the video, they became sure the cemetery was truly haunted and that the rumors were real. Frightened and not wanting to risk being possessed, they quickly packed up and left the area. Open discussion. A family living in Bandung, West Java, Indonesia, woke up in the middle of the night to scratching sounds coming from their attic. They were terrified, but also curious to know what was making the noise. One of them slowly pushed open the attic door with a long wooden stick. What they saw was shocking. A bald figure with sunken eyes was sitting in the dark attic, staring at them. As soon as they saw it, they slammed the attic door shut in fear and ran out of the house. They were so scared that they spent the rest of the night at their neighbor's home. In the morning, they went back to check the attic again. This time, there was nothing there. No footprints, no sign of anyone. After that encounter, they were sure that it had been a ghost silently watching over them for many nights. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.